have discussed last week with regards to evaluation. Ganun lang kasimple, evaluation is very important. Why? Evaluation is very important in order for you to know how many implants, what are the things to consider, kailangan bang mag-bone graft, okay, may mga pathologies ba, o may mga problems ba ang pasyente in order for you to identify ano ang setting of care, ano yung mga pharmacologic preparations, ano yung mga co-management na need, let's say sa cardiologist, anesthesiologist, etc. etc. So lesson 2 in module 5 is implant site surgical considerations and preparation. So again, evaluation pa rin. Okay, so anatomy is very important. Okay, so yung sa anatomy, itong sa first paragraph natin, is that it's very important for us to determine ano yung bone quality and quantity. Remember yung ano natin, pre-surgical or pre-implant radiograph, diba? Yung 5 purpose. Tama, kasama doon sa purpose na yun is bone quantity and bone quality. Okay? Dahil implant ang pinag-uusapan natin. If we don't have bone quantity and quality, we cannot place an implant. Okay. Now, equally important also is the implant of choice. Ito yung 3-dimensional position. Another purpose of our implant consideration. Iya, dito ka kaya. Para hindi mo nakikita eh. Nakikita ka, sure ka?
Sure.
Okay, so very important. In order for us to optimize the position, angulation, and how many implants we should place in our patient, either in the maxilla or in the mandible. Next. Now, key elements. Okay, so pre-post-operative implant placement. Actually, intra-op, intra-op, and post-op. Intra-op during the surgery. Sometimes kasi pag ino-open namin yung buto, nagpa-flap kami, nagbabago. Minsan nga akala namin sa CT scan may buto, pero yung buto pala weak, malambot, maroon pala siya. So kaya kailangan handa ka na may graft ka. So we need to place a bone graft. Yung surgical stent, remember yung gumagawa kasi tayo ng denture para malaman lang natin kung anong klaseng prosthesis ang pwede natin ilagay after implant placement. Whether it's FPD, RPD, or complete denture. Kanyari, complete denture kasi pwedeng 4 na implants lang eh. 2 sa upper, 2 sa lower, and then hip type. That's the minimum requirement. Implant size. Okay, importante din yan. Too big and too small of the implant that you're going to place, papaltak siya. Next, proper implant placement measurements. Ibig sabihin dito sa implant placement and measurement, if this is the mandible, like so, hindi po pwedeng magkakadikit ang implant na ganyan. At least minimum requirement yan 6 millimeters. At least in between implants in order for you to have a proper anatomy of the crowns that you're going to place. Okay? Hindi yung magkakadikit siya. Okay? Yung sa stent din, ang problem kasi pagka kasi sa stent, sa surgical stent, may mga companies kasi ngayon na nag 3D planning pati yung printing, 3D printing ng stents. Sinasabi nila pag gumawa na ng stent, hindi ka nang pa-flap. But I don't do that. Okay, I still need to see the bone. I still need to see that the implant is inside bone. Kasi doon sa stent kasi, tinuturuan ka maging tamad eh. Doon sa stent kasi, sinasabi nila na, lagay mo lang yung stent, mag-drill ka na mag-drill. Okay? Nawawala kasi yung imagination sa surgeon. In order for you, ang tawag namin doon, eyeballing. Nawawala yung imagination mo, nawawala yung skill mo on decision making when you're going to place an implant. Okay? Doon sa mga surgical stents. Okay? So, kumbaga parang isa sa mga fault ng mga kabataan ngayon, na nakikita ko kasi, they rely too much in technology. And sometimes, nabobobo na tayo. That's the danger of technology right now. Kasi nandito na, kunyari mag-google kayo ngayon. Alam nyo na mag-google lang kayo. Pero the problem is the information that you're getting from Google correct? Number 2, okay? Nawawala yung imagination natin to the point na dependent tayo at pag nawala si technology, hindi na tayo makakapag-treat. That's another problem. You should know your basics. You should know the basic foundation of medicine in regards to this one. Naiintindihan niyo lahat. Okay, next. Ano ba ito? Bone graft sa secondary. Bone graft ad volume. Bone graft ad volume. Ito lang kasimple yan. Yung bone graft na yan, pag mag-i-implant ka, sa palagay mong hindi mo kailangan ng implant ng bone graft. Okay? Kailangan may naka-ready kang bone graft. Okay? Ganito lang yan. Doon sa nasisemento ng wall, di ba meron tinatawag tayong palitada o finishing. Right? When you reflect a flap, a full thickness flap kasi, and exposing the bone, to the mere fact that you reflected the periosteum, you are promoting bone resorption na. Because one of the protection and vascularity of blood supply ng bone is in the periosteum. Yung surgical exposure nyo ng bone and an implant placement creates resorption or promotes resorption. Kaya kailangan yan, after implant placement, naglalagay tayo dapat ng bone graft. Ito yung, ano na ito? Ito yung, dito, ang gist or summary nitong slide na ito. Tama ba yung sinasabi ko? Itong PRP na to, siguro tumaluma na itong slide na to. This is the first generation blood derivative. Okay, this is the first generation. Di ba parang hindi siya purely autogenous. Meron kang mini-mix para lang hindi mag-clot yung blood. And then, may mini-mix ka ulit para mag-clot naman yung blood. Technique sensitive tong platelet-rich plasma. Okay? Luma na to. PRF na tayo. Meron pa nga tayo CGF na nga ngayon. Okay, PRF is platelet-rich fibrin. I think the residents later will show you what is PRF. That's the second generation blood derivative or platelet derivative. So later. So ginagawa natin. Ito yung kung nakaka-ano kayo sa social media, Google, yung sticky bone, yung mga Koreans yan start ng mga term na sticky bone, pero it's an IPRF, injectable PRF. And then, been using it prior to the coining or mentioning of sticky bone. Okay, next. Okay. Autograft, buto ng pasyente. Allograft, buto ng cadaver. Okay, same species, cadaver bone yan. Ginagamit natin yan. Okay, FDA approved yan. Lahat ng mga parang possible, yung mga possible cause of disease, AIDS, etc. Mga viruses tinatanggal. Basically, yung matrix nung bone lang kinukuha, either black bone or particulate bone. Xenograft, either sa baboy, sa baka, or sa tupa, or sheep. Yan, yung tatlo na yan. Ang madalas kong gamitin is alloplast with autograft. Alloplast, it is a synthetic material. Most of the time, it is made out of coral. Okay? Ano yung mga types of bone graft? Auto, allo, sino, allo. Allograft, alloplast. Alloplast, Ito yung mga tinatawag na beta-tricalcium phosphate. BTCP, beta-TCP. Beta-tricalcium phosphate. Yan yung madalas, yan yung material na ginagamit ko actually. Okay, yung material naman ng mga allograft, ito yung mga demineralized freeze-dried bone, DFDP. Demineralized freeze, dried, tuyo, bone. Yan yung allograft. Yung mga xenograft, ito yung mga bovine bone, ito yung mga bovine porcine bone. Next. Next nga. Okay. We go back. Now, yung yung indication for bone graft. Yan, yari. Mag-i-exo ka. Ito sa socket prefer, nakikinig ba yung mga nandyan? Okay. I-thumbs up nga nila kung naman. Baka mamaya hindi na sila nakaka-play. Okay naman daw. Sige. Game. Now, there are 4 main types kasi, or actually, it's not types of indication for bone graft. Ngayon, kunyari, sa kliniko kasi bihira ako mag-exo eh. Considering na dentista ako. Ibig sabihin nun, kunyari, mag-exo ako ng anteriors. Lalo na sa maxillary anteriors, 1-1-2-1, mag-exo ka. I also offer the patient na hindi na tayo basta mag-exo. Baka pwede tayong mag-graft just to preserve the bone. Mag-graft tayo just to preserve the bone. Bone preservation. Kung pwede din prior to either prosthesis kayo, prosto, or implant. The reason why ino-offer ko kasi na after extraction kasi is that maglagay ako ng graft, whether it is an allograft, autograft, xenograft, alloplast, para lang ma-preserve yung bone. Kasi kung ang final restoration ko kasi would be an FPD, whether it is a Maryland bridge, whether it is a full crown bridge, pine-prevent ko kasi yung cervical desorption. If there is a cervical desorption, both height and width of the bone in the maxilla, mariresorb yung labial plate. Ang mangyayari kasi niyan, hahaba yung crown ko. Tama? Nahabol mo yan eh. And the effect is not natural. Hindi nyo makukuha yung normal anatomy ng prosthesis nyo. Nakukuha nyo, nagigets nyo yung dito. Ang binabayaran kasi sa inyo rito is the artistry. As dentist, artist tayo. Okay? Doon sa surgery, after, kunyari, hindi lang basta magpapa-exo. I offer kasi, alam ko kasi magkakaroon ng problema after the extraction. Okay? That's the reason why yung bone preservation natin o yung bone grafting natin, ino-offer natin yan sa pasyente. Kasi kasama yun sa treatment planning natin yan eh. Kung ang practice nyo kasi is hook, line, and sinker, hindi kayo kikita ng malaki. Magbubunot kayo, magde-denture kayo. That's it. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi maganda yung ganong practice, but you can do more. Okay? Depende yan kung meron kayong proper training. So next will be ridge augmentation. Ang ridge augmentation kasi is the same as socket preservation yan. Kung multiple extractions kasi, kunyari, 4 anteriors, ridge augmentation ang tawag doon. Or ang ridge augmentation kasi kung matagal ng edentulous yung area ng maxilla and mandible at it lost the height and width of the bone, magagraft tayo. Either doon sa ridge augmentation kasi guys, we use particulate. Pag sinabing particulate, para siyang buhangin. Or black graph. Okay, naiintindihan. We have two types of, we have, ano ba ang tawag ba? We have two, these shapes, materials. Types of materials for both. Either yung particulate, yung buhangin, you have two. Again, particulate or block. Okay, particulate and black. Next. Now, doon sa sinus lift kasi, ang problem kasi sa maxillary posterior, if we see a maxillary posterior like this one, so, kunyari ganyan, no? Molar. Pwede na ito. So, molar na agad tayo. Ayan. Ang problem kasi, sometimes, very low yung maxillary sinus floor. Kaya kailangan yan prior to extraction. Nag-radiograph kayo. Kasi mamaya masama kayo doon sa statistics namin na after extraction, nagkaroon ng oroantral communication. Okay? Maraming ganyan. At nagkaroon ng chronic sinus infection. Sometimes, pagka binubunot kasi natin, very low, yung maxillary bone height, kailangan tayo ng sinus lift. What's the indication? If less than 5 millimeters, and then, sabihin na natin less than 10 millimeters height ng maxillary bone height. Ano yung accepted natin na implant size? 3.75 by 10. Remember, doon sa implant size natin, yung pinag-usapan natin. The most accepted implant size is 3.75 by 10. Any deviation kasi, it would compromise the integrity of the implant. Mahina siya. The longer, the bigger the implant that you place, depending on the bone size, bone quantity, and bone quality kasi. Kailangan yan i-maximize nyo yung strength ng implant. So now, kaya nga, if less than 10 millimeters, ang bone height ng maxillary posterior, kailangan kayo mag-sinus lift. Yung sinus lifting, naglalagay kayo ng buto underneath the sinus membrane. You call that the sinus lift. Magkakaroon kayo ng window dito. So, yung charge sa sinus lifting, mas mahal pa dun sa implant. Okay? I charge us more than 100,000 per side dun sa sinus lifting. Okay? So, yun siya. Now, yung periodontal bone graft, kunyari, nagkaroon ng bone gum disease, eroded bone, pero nandun pa rin yung ngipin, we can do periodontal bone grafting. Okay? Yan yung ano dyan. Now, before the bone graft, syempre, in order for it to heal properly, kailangan yan kasi clear yung pasyente, walang sakit yung pasyente. That's the reason for the evaluation. Next. So what are the normal side effects? Ganito lang yan. These are the side effects of bone graft procedures. Ayan, gum swelling, minor bleeding, difficulty in eating, speaking, and chewing. Next. Okay, yung negative, ito yung mga rare cases actually, yung negative reaction to anesthesia during the procedure. Itong negative reaction yan, I think ang pagkakaintindi ko dito is allergic reaction. Which is, kung nag-surgery kayo, pagkatapos nun, nag-inject kayo, tapos nag-surgery kayo agad, mali yung preparation nyo doon sa pasyente. Ibig sabihin, prior to the surgery, kailangan ito, alam niyo na kung may allergic reaction, yung pasyente doon sa anesthetic solution. Paano nyo malalaman yan? Para hindi ka sigurado sa sinasabi mo. Paano malalaman? Skin testing. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Pero, there is such a thing as false positive and false negative. Ano ibig sabihin doon? Yung skin testing nyo, you cannot rely solely on skin testing. That's the reason why prior to the procedure kasi, para maiwasan ko, ito yung key para maiwasan ko yung any allergic reaction or mapababa ko yung incidence ng any allergic reactions, nagbibigay kami ng steroids. That's the key. Nagbibigay kami ng steroids. Okay? Para lang kung sakali mang magkakaroon siya ng allergic reaction to any medications that you're going to give, mapapababa ng steroids kasi yung incidence of allergic reaction. Naintindihan? Okay. Now, yan, yung mga bleeding, nerve injuries. Ayan, yung bleeding and nerve injuries, normal yan. Kaya sinasabi ko sa pasyente, pwedeng after the procedure, hindi kayo makaramdam doon sa area. Pagka hindi tinanggap ng pasyente, yung mga sinasabi niyong complications, huwag kayong mag-uumpisa. Kasi sakit lang ng ulo yan. Okay? There's no such thing as bone rejection. There's no such thing. Okay? And then yung reabsorption of the graft, there's no such thing. Prior to the placement of the implant, of the graft material kasi, baka mamaya, acidic yung environment, may infection yung patient, may comorbids yung patient yun. That's the reason for sinasabing graft rejection. There's no such thing. Bihirang-bihira na ako makikita. Or improper preparation of the tissues. Bumuka yung flap kasi may tension. Kaya technique sensitive talaga itong itong implant procedures na ito, yung bone graft procedures. Yung reabsorption of the graft, yung tipo pang resorption of the graft, baka hindi yan naprotektahan yung graft kasi kaya kailangan yan may membrane dapat yan. Ang bone graft, another term for bone graft is guided bone regeneration. So since hindi nila kasalanan na wala sila ngayon, ang assignment natin, explain the procedure of guided bone regeneration. In bullet points lang on a 1/2 sheet of pad paper. Explain the principle behind guided bone regeneration. I-type nyo na lang, Madam President, pakitype na lang doon sa Google Meet. Explain the principle behind guided bone regeneration. Makikita nyo yan sa book ni Carl Misch, Contemporary Implant Dentistry. Meron yan online. Kung makakakuha kayo ng yung pirated PDF copy niya or meron sa taas sa library. Okay? Explain the procedure of guided bone regeneration in bullet points. Carl Misch, si Misch, asawa niya Pilipina, pero patay na siya. Okay, Carl Misch. I had the opportunity to take an exam under Carl Misch. Okay. Asawa niya Pilipina, iniwan niya asawa niya. Pilipina din yung second wife.
Mahilig sa Pilipinas.
Okay, yung mga stents. Nakuha na nung paki-check mo ba yung kung nakuha nila yung assignment. Nakuha niya yung assignment doon na sa Google Meet. Okay, sige. Okay, yung sa stent, ito lang yun Okay, listen, everybody. Doon sa stent, ang purpose purpose nito, proper load, proper distribution of the implant para hindi siya magdikit-dikit. And another thing, ang purpose ng stent is para malaman mo yung proper angulation ng implant mo. Yun yung purpose ng stent. Ito yung ano na yan. Yun lang yung explanation dito sa slide na yan. Next. Yan. Okay. Yung sa stent ngayon kasi, dati, para bang ang procedure namin, upper-lower impression, tapos either edentulous, partially edentulous, ang pasyente, gagawa kami ng, ang usual na ginagawa namin is, ano tawag dito? Yung, ano tawag doon sa denture na combination ng wire and ano tawag doon ba? Combination ng wire tsaka ng acrylic. Stay plate with wires, tawag doon, yung mga acrylic dentures lang. So, ganun lang, old school. Ngayon, ang is that sa either sa CBCT or medical CT scan or sometimes doon sa 3D scanning, doon na gumagawa ng stent. Computerized na. Okay? Hindi ko sinasabing na 100% foolproof to. Kasi actually the technology also is dependent on the user. Kung mali yung ini-input nyo doon sa equipment, mali yung lalabas doon sa yung resulta, especially doon sa stents. Kaya kailangan pinag-aaralan nyo ito. Okay. Next. So, fabrication, step by step. Okay, so kunyari, yun, partially edentulous, intraoral pictures, remember yung evaluation, di ba? Next. Again, x-rays, pre-operative implant imaging. Okay, so one of the purpose of that is that para malaman natin if there is no disease, there are no pathologies. Remember? Siyempre, sa OPG, hindi mo makikita yung bone quantity and bone quantity. Kailangan yan, CT scan, whether it is CBCT or medical CT scan. Next. And then, ito yung old school. Yung sinasabi natin, parang gumagawa lang tayo ng denture. Okay? So, para malaman lang natin kung saan natin ipe-place yung implant. Yung proper position of the implant, hindi pa natin malalaman yung angulation. Next. So, sinasabi dito, yung proper positioning in the implant. Next. So, again, fabrication of a stent. This is the stent. Next. And then, para malaman mo yung angulation of the implant, kailangan natin ng intraoperative radiograph, like so. Actually, ito para mga 13 mm sa ng implant height. Next. So, yun, for cervical ease, para malaman nyo. Iba kasi nangyayari, go back to the radiograph. Lagay ng implant, yung isa pa. Next. Yan, lagay ng implant, kung dalawang implant to nagdidikit. So, hindi kayo makaka-maximize ng inyong proper, hindi nyo ma-maximize yung prosthodontic rehabilitation. Kasi magkadikit yung implant. Okay. Next. Next. Okay. So, yun. So, we drill the bone in relation to the stent. Yun nga lang, ginagawa ko kasi, minsan gumagawa ko ng stent, minsan pag nilalagay natin yung stent, hindi mo madrill. Kasi nga hindi mo malaman yung angulation. Yun yung problem. Kaya nga, hindi na sila gumagawa ng ganito klaseng stent. Okay? Computer designed na, computer aided na siya. Next. Okay, so anatomy, yung very important, yung sa mga implant sizes. Nasal floor, maxillary sinus, not much of the infraorbital nerve kasi ang infraorbital nerve nandito na Pag lumampas ka pa dyan, ewan ko na lang. Napakahaba na ng implant mo. Siguro nasa 16 mm na yan. you have to be careful, go back to the OPG na merong na may stent, na may implant. You have to be careful, especially when you're going to place an implant sa lower, not to violate the inferior alveolar canal. Kasi if you violate the inferior alveolar canal, you're going to end up having nerve injuries. Maraming nadidemanda dyan na yung tipo bang sumingil sila ng 1 million at 10 million yung nawawala sa kanila. Okay, next. Next. So. Ba't sila naglalagay dito? Okay. Mahinig kayo. Go back to the first. So, itutulungan ko lang kayo papaano. So, mission initial dimension kasi, ito implant body should not be closer 1.5 mm to adjacent root surface. So, kumbaga parang, guys, kung nandito yung implant nyo, kailangan hindi siya didikit doon sa ngipin. 1.5 mm. Implant body, root surface, 1.5 mm. Why 1.5? Para hindi nyo maapektuhan yung periodontal ligament space. Kasi pagka naapektuhan yung periodontal ligament space, you're going to end up having periodontitis. At masakit yun. Okay? Okay. Yung sinasabi nito, tingnan nyo dito, yung fourth bullet point. Tingnan nyo lahat, yung fourth bullet point na ito. Okay, explain ko sa inyo Occlusal. Kung ito yung occlusal natin, ganyan. Occlusal siya, ito, here. Okay. When you place an implant, occlusal view to tingnan nyo lahat dito. Kailangan at least 1 to 1.5 millimeters ang bone thickness around the implant. Labial, palatal, mesial, distal. Intindihan. Bakit? Kasi if this is less than 1 to 1.5, magkakaroon ng bone resorption yan. Lilitaw yung implant threads. That's the reason why after placement of the implant kasi nagbo-bone graft ako. Especially sa labial. Para maiwasan ko yung bone resorption. Siyempre, added yon, added charge yun dun sa pasyente. Okay. Masyado ng technical to. Yeah, next. So, based on your radiographic findings, doon yung malalaman ngayon yung implant size yun. Naiintindihan? Okay? Ano yung natin, accepted natin na implant size? Minimum, 3.75 by 10. You know it by heart. 3.75 by 10. So, yun sa mga implant sizes, sometimes, talaga may mga maliliit. Kasi, the reason why gumagamit ako ng 3 here, this one, para doon sa mga laterals, lower laterals, or centrals. Next. So yung mga proper implant position, kailangan yung kailangan yung anatomic landmarks, alam nyo, in the maxilla and the mandible. Next. Yung sa maxillary sinus actually, so later, siguro magpapakita ko sa inyo ng mga cases. Sa maxillary sinus, minsan nilalampas ko yan Nagkakaroon ako ng crestal abdominal sinus din. Minsan tinatap ko konti. Or mismo yung implant, binebreak ko yung cortical bone sa sinus floor. Which is this one. Binebreak ko. And then yung mismong implant ang maglilink ko sa sinus. Tapos maglalagay ako, prior to implant placement, naglalagay ako ng bone graft para ipupush yung implant, yung bone graft underneath the sinus. You call it, we have two types kasi. Again, we have two types of sinus lifting. We have a lateral wall approach. One lateral wall. Second is our crestal approach. Lateral wall. Second is the crestal approach. Pero ano na ba? Masyado na advanced. Next. Yan. Tulad ng ganito. Actually, pag nakakita ako ng ganito, eyes front dito, no? Pag nakakita ako ng ganito, excited ako. Yung mga ganyan. Gusto ng pasyente magpa-implant. Pagkakataon ko na itong kumita ng malaki. Oo, ano yung totoo? Ladies and gentlemen, bakit ka mo? The more problem that you encounter in your cases kasi, the better it is for you to earn. That is if you are properly trained. Get nyo? Yun siya. Dito pag nakakita ko ganito, tumataging pinaka-pamilya na yung naiisip ko dito. Palang, isang pasyente lang yun. That's how you do your practice management, guys. Napaka-importante ng evaluation nyo. Napaka-importante for you to identify how you can circumvent the problem of the patient. Okay? There's no such thing as alam niyo yung ito lang just for your analogy, sino yung nakakapanood ng gold dito? Gold. Sino nag-gold dito? Gold. Hindi yung gold. Hindi ba yun? Gold. Tiger Woods. Si Tiger Woods. Sino nakakapanood si Tiger Woods? Sometimes, di ba? Sometimes when Tiger Woods see a hole, hindi siya umaangulate direkta dun sa hole. Remember, he's reading the green. May grooves yan, may bumps yan, may humps yan. Okay, in order for Tiger Woods to place that small ball in that small hole. Pero hindi siya straight line. Tama ba? Okay? Ganun din dito. You are reading the bumps, the grooves. Okay? The imperfections of that green in order for you to place that small ball in that small hole. 3, 4, 5, 6 yards away. Ganon din dito sa implant kasi. Wala kasing straightforward na treatment plan eh. Wala kasi yung tipo, maglalagay ako ng implant dito straightforward. Bahala na si Batman, hindi ganon. Kasi if you do that kasi, magpaglagay ka dito, mabubutas mo yung maxillary sinus. So the reason why Tiger Woods is circumventing, kasi magaling siya sa troubleshooting. The reason why, so gagawin natin, hindi ako straightforward. Mag-i-evaluate ako, magsa-sinus din muna ako, saka ako maglalagay ng implant. Sometimes, masikip. Less than 6 mm yung inter-arch distance mo. Yung occlusal distance dito. Kailangan mong mag-enameloplasty pa. That also adds to the TF. Okay, enameloplasty is accepted also. Right? So next, so yun yung inaano natin. So here, kung masyadong maliit, masyadong maiksi yung bone height, kung pwede tayo maglagay ng bone graft via sinus lifting. Next. Ito yung sinasabing sinus lifting approach. You lift the sinus, not violating the sinus, walang butas, walang perforation, and place a bone graft. Next. So yan. So dito tinitingnan kasi kung gaano kadaming bone graft ang nilalagay. Okay? So this is actually yung sinus floor mo na. Ito yung bone graft na nilalagay. Okay? Next. Sa mandibular arch naman, next. Yan, actually there's no such thing as mandibular canal or the proper term for mandibular canal is the inferior alveolar canal and the mental foramen. Kailangan yan, if you are in the area, meron kayong kailangan na 2 mm distance between the apex of the implant and the superior portion of the mandibular canal or inferior alveolar canal. And then, if you're going to place an implant anterior, it should be 2 mm. It should be 2 mm anterior to the mental foramen. Okay? There's such a thing kasi sa anatomy natin as the anterior loop of the mental foramen. Okay? Anterior loop of the mental foramen. It's 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters anteriorly, and then mag-terminate siya dun sa mental foramen. You read about that. There's such a thing as the anterior loop. It's 2 millimeters anterior to the mental foramen. Okay? Next. So yan. So yung mga minimum required distance lang naman yan. So you don't need, no? Ano to? Okay. Ito yun. Okay guys. Ito lang to. Just to help you understand. Ano itong 1 millimeter na to? Maxillary sinus, nasal cavity. Sinasabi ng book nito, malamang pakicardmish ito, na yung apex ng implant nyo, kailangan 1 millimeters short siya of the maxillary sinus floor or nasal cavity. Ako hindi. Talaga dinidikit ko yan. Ina-maximize ko pa rin yung 1 millimeter na yan. 1 millimeter is still 1 millimeter. Walang problema dyan kahit idikit nyo yan. Nagsa-sinus tape nga kayo eh. Okay? Okay lang na idikit yan. Ang ito lang yung 2 millimeters yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Doon sa mandibular canal or intra-alveolar canal. Kasi there's such a thing as bone compression. Minsan pag naglalagay tayo ng implant, so we already have talked to one implant company who will demonstrate implant placement sa finals. Okay? So every one of you should not be absent. Okay? It is considered as, pagpalagay na natin na as pre-final exam. Okay? So 2 millimeters, there is such a thing as bone compression that can result to nerve injury. Mental nerve and then inferior border of the mandible. Wala, hindi naman siguro kayo aabot sa inferior border of the mandible. Kasi ang minimum requirement lang natin is 10 millimeters mo, yung implant height. Next. Ilan pa? 5. Bear with me na lang. Kasi 30 to 40 minutes lang talagang attention span eh. Bear with me na lang, tapusin natin ito. Okay? Tao din kayo, alam ko. Okay? Okay, multiple implant placements. Iniiwasan lang natin dito is incorrect implant angulation position. Okay? Parang, meron kayo nun? Ito nga i-ano mo siya sa science para lang ma-appreciate nila. Yan. Okay. Dapat. Implant complication. Meron ka pa yan? Sige, tapusin natin itong lecture na to. Tapos, I'm going to give you yung a glimpse dun sa sinus dip. Bear with me. Hindi, yung sinus dip. Mamaya na. Sige pa. Forward. 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 Okay. Sige, yan. So here, sige ko, wala ako. Go. Yan. So, please na sabi ko sa inyo kanina pa. At least, minimum of 1.5. See? May picture na yan. May picture na yan pa. Meron naman kayo nito. Picture. Okay, meron yan. Okay. So, 1.5. The reason why minimum natin requirement ng 1.5 kasi para maiwasan natin yung bone resorption. The reason also, pag binuksan nyo kasi siya, magkakaroon ng 0.5 mm bone resorption yan eh. At least meron kayong 1 mm pa. Ngayon, suggestion ko sa inyo, after implant placement, maglagay kayo ng bone graft. Okay? So yun siya. Again, your assignment is guided bone regeneration. Explain nyo lang sa akin. Hindi ko kailangan ng novela. Hindi ko kailangan ng thesis. Kailangan ko lang yung direct explanation ng guided bone regeneration. Next. So ito yung sinasabi natin. So, kumaga, 1.5 millimeters from the adjacent tooth, at least 3 millimeters from an adjacent implant. Tama yung angulation, tama? Maganda siya. Pag nakakita na kayo, kunyari, hindi pa kayo nagpa-practice ng implant na ganyan-ganyan, ganyan-ganyan, mali na yun. Okay? Kasi isipin nyo na lang yung path of insertion and path of removal of the implant, of the prosthesis, it's not achievable. Next. Next. That's na yan. So, again, background to sa sinus lifting para malaman natin. Ano? Okay. Ito, mag-picture kayo. Kasi wala. Or screenshot ng mga class. O screenshot nyo na lang doon sa naka-Google Meet. Then break tayo ng mga 20 minutes. Lahat kayo bumaba na for the demo na gagawin. Yung sinus lifting. Okay na? Ganun na ba? Okay, tama. So ito yung ano, so para doon sa actual cases, Makinig na lang sa'yo. Listen na lang 10 minutes. Ano yun? PDF? Sige, lita mo na lang. So, sinus lift. Next. So, maxillary sinus kasi is often predisposed with complications. So, that's the reason why kailangan doon sa medical evaluation patient nyo is healthy siya. Next. So, very important ang CT scan. So, ganitong ka-intensive yung preparation ko sa patient. Matuloy o hindi yung patient ko sa surgery, sisingil ako sa kanya ng minimum 5,000 pesos for the consult. Minimum. Okay? At sinisingil lang ng advance ng secretary ko yun. Matuloy o hindi. Okay? Next. So, kasi kailangan ko maka-achieve. So, ito yung mga combination nito at mga old school implants ko. This is a cylindrical implant na nilagay ko, and these are ano to? Dito, tapered implants. Okay? Ito yan. Next. Anatomy is very important in order for you to know ano ba yung mga pathologies. Remember, disease, quantity, quality, implant location, and angulation. Remember? Next. So you need to know the anatomy. As a dentist, kailangan nyo yung anatomy. Malaman nyo by heart yung anatomy ng sinus. Kasi hindi kayo po pwedeng matatakot na, ay, mayroong sinus approximation ang molars, maxillary molars, ayoko magbunot. Hindi kayo ikita. Hindi magpo-progress ang ano nyo ng practice. Okay? Next. So, yan. So, normal, kailangan, ang normal antrum should be, tawag dito is radiolucent, not radio-opaque. Pag radio-opaque yan, may pathology yan. Next. Okay, yung mga neoplasms, kailangan yan, wala yan. Next. Okay, next. Kasi pag may mga neoplasms, baka mamaya merong mucous retention cyst. This is a mucocele inside the maxillary sinus. Next. So, GBR, next. Okay, maxillary sinus, next. Next. Kasi may mga ibang patients, kung titignan natin dito, nandito, pumapasok yung implant sa maxillary sinus here. Ito. And you don't want this. Okay, next. Graft, autogenous graft, next. Okay, so it can be taken from the ramus, the symphysis, the tibia, the iliac. Next. Ito yung allograft, xenograft, and alloplast, which I already have mentioned. Barriers. Next. Ito yung platelet-rich plasma na nandun sa This is the first generation. Platelet derivatives. Hindi ko na ginagamit yan. Okay, next. Kasi ito yung sinasabi yan. Way back, 2007, 2006, ako na gumagamit ng sinasabi nila ng sticky phone. Next. And then we use PRP sinus lift. Next. Next. Infection control is very important. Next. Next. So yan, titin natin paper thin. Next. Sinus lifting. From this one to this one. Next. Here. Placement. After sinus lift. So next. So again, placement of an implant at the area of tooth number 25. Next. Okay, after placement, maganda yung angulation ng implant. Yes. Okay, proper placement, proper positioning, proper spacing. Yes. Next. So this is what you call the lateral lingual approach. Sometimes nagkakaroon ng perforation. This is a perforation of the sinus membrane. Next. Proper implant positioning. Next. At least dito meron ka more than 3 millimeters implant position. Next. So, after, so triangular flap, nakikita nyo dyan, triangular flap. And then we're going to make a lateral wall. Next. This is the lateral wall. Next. Nagkaroon ng perforation. Okay lang yan. May PRF tayo. Nagpa-paste kami ng PRF yan. Next. This is PRP. Next. This is PRP with the particulate graft. Yung particulate graft, ito yung buhangin, the graft material. Next. Okay. Placement inside, underneath the sinus membrane, inside the sinus cavity. Next. Okay. Placement of the PRP membrane. Next. And then suturing via, without tension. Next. Okay. So, next. Okay. So, here, multiple extraction. Next. Sinus lifting. Next. 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 Ito. Tingnan natin dito. This is blood vessel. Part of the maxillary artery here. Kaya ingat kayo, yung magbubunod kayo, tapos din. Okay. Baka mamaya malacerate nyo yung part ng maxillary artery. Okay, next. 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 And then, yan. Replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 implants sa upper. Next. Alright, go back. Down. Maganda yung angulation. Maganda yung positioning based sa discussion natin. Maganda. Ano sumasagot? Okay? So, para lang ma-appreciate nyo kung ano yung tama. Okay? Next. So, next. And then, this is actually the physiosurgery machine. Etong physiosurgery machine yan, it will cut bone but it will not cut soft tissue. Once it reaches soft tissue, titigil siya. Next. Next. And then placement, this is a Straumann implant. Ito yung pinakamahal na implant today. Next. So meron ng 5mm bone height. So naglagay ako ng more than 10mm implant height. Next. Next. Corking. So titignan natin 5mm here. Another 6 to 7mm there. So this is the sinus lifting. And then implants. And then maglagay tayo ng bone graft. And then nilagay ako dito ng alloplast. Next. Okay, this is the alloplast. Beta-tricalcium phosphate. Next. And then suturing without tension. Next. Okay, membrane. Next. Next. Here it is. Proper implant positioning, proper angulation, proper numbers of implants. Next. Okay, next. Again, flap, next. And here it is. Hindi pa ako happy dito sa ginawa dito. Medyo kumali yung implant dito. I'm really not happy with this one. Ayan. Meron pa. Next. Dami ko pa ng face. Next. Yan pa din. Sinus stiff. Sinus stiff. Yung iba actually, I heard yung mga ibang nag-i-implant, hindi sila, pinakabahan pa sila mag-lift eh. So they call me to make the lift. Okay. Next. This is a bone mill. And then next. Next. Placement. Placement of the implant. Sinus lifting. Go. Here it is. Ilan to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next. Okay na. So I'm very happy. Ito yung sinus lift niya. Here's the lift. Here's the bone graft. Here's the bone graft. Happy ako dito sa implant position and angulation. And number of implants. Okay? Ito yung problem. Kita niyo to. Okay? Kasi talagang pagka ganito, minsan nagkakamali yung mga ibang dentist. Maglalagay ng implant, pero nagkaroon ng supra-abrasion ng upper. So after this kasi, hindi ko muna siya binunot eh. After everything kasi is settled here, saka ko nalang binunot. Okay? At that time, wala pang technology for tooth grafted. Kung ako dito ngayon, isasabay ko na siya. So ito na isasama ko tooth graft na to. Ipo-process itong ngipin na ito and then ilalagay ko siya sa sides. Instead of me using an alloplast, auto-tooth graft na lang. Okay? Wala na. So, wala tayong quiz ngayon kasi may mga nasa Google Meet. Yung assignment natin, yes.
Magkano daw po?
Use your imagination. Ang ano na tao, we are very happy.
Kasi.
Yan siya. Ngayon, syempre, lastly, kung papabayaan niyo yung practice ng dentistry in your generation, kukunin ng ibang specialty siya, especially yung ENT. Unti-unti na nila kinukuha yan. Alam mo kung bakit? They're taking of advantage kasi na naging complacent tayo. Na parati natin kasi sinasabi na hindi natin kaya. Pag pinabayaan niyo yan, okay, kayo ang mawawala ng trabaho. Payag pa kayo na? Papayag kayo? Hindi, di ba? So, ibig sabihin nun, galingan nyo. Kasi sooner or later, generation namin mawawala. And you will be the one who's going to take care of the practice of dentistry. Some of you will go to medicine. Some of you will specialize in dentistry. It's very important for you to take care of the practice. Or else, kukunin sa inyo yung trabaho nyo. Gets? Okay, any questions? None? Okay. Now, yes.
Doon po sa science listing po, anong type of grafting material po siya?
Depende sa'yo. Ako kasi, may mga patients kasi na sinasabihan ko, baka po pwedeng mag-harvest ako ng buto. Imimil ko yun, dudurugin ko. Kunyari, in the ramus or in the symphysis. Or sometimes, so, sa maxillary tuberosity. And imimil ko yon, ilalagay ko. Okay? Or, yung auto-tooth graft. Kung may third molar, ay, wala po. Kung may third molar, yung patient, nag-odontic ako, imimil ko yung third molar na yan. Or any tooth na hindi na magagamit ng pasyente. And then ilalagay ko siya mixed with blood derivatives, platelet derivatives, such as PRP, or yung, in other words, yung ngayon bago, ba't hindi naman bago, second generation, PRF. Okay? Yun siya. Depende doon sa ano. Pero, kung hindi available, walang ngipin available, no? Pagkatapos noon, ayaw magpa-harvest ng patient ng autogenous graft. Alloplast, which is the beta-tricalcium phosphate, can be considered. Okay? Pero it is best na mag-50-50 kayo. Ano yung ibig ko sabihin ng 50-50? Ang ibig sabihin ng 50-50 is 50% beta-tricalcium phosphate, 50% autogenous bone, and then mix it with PRF, platelet-rich fibrate, para mas mabilis yung turnover for that graft material to become normal bone. I gets? Kasi ang ano kasi dito, ang key natin kasi dito is paano natin mapapabilis, gumaling yung patient para mas mabilis tayong kumita. To that, syempre, you need to listen to the body physiology also. Kailangan, syempre, i-assess yung patient. Kaya nga, very important, ang first and last thing you're going to do to your patient is evaluation. Diagnosis. Yun yung binabayaran sa inyo. Okay? Any question? None? If none, okay, class dismissed. In 30 minutes, we prepare downstairs. Paano na lang ito na lang?
Daddy, tara mag isang bucket na chicken. Isang bucket na chicken. Daddy, kumain ka na.